in the world is happening with King County real estate? I mean that. I mean, what in the world is happening with King County real estate? I mean, what is happening with King County real estate? Look at that graph. What do you see when you see that graph? The green is the supply, the number of new listings that came to market. The blue, the demand, the numbers that came off the market. What do you see? I see half as many homes available to sell. Half. You got to go back. If I go back historically, I can't go back far enough to see few houses. That's insane. This is unprecedented, historic. This is crazy. This is half the number of houses for sale. And the gap between, now look, buyers are down, but buyers are down almost only because there's nothing for them to buy. So we got a problem here, people. Now, you really don't. I mean, if you're selling, so here's the thing, what this winds up meaning for it. If you're selling and you price it like it's 2023, you'll get that home sold. You just will. Now, you can't price it like it's 2022, and you certainly can't price it like it's 2020. You got to price it like it's now with 7.5% interest, 7% interest. Why? Because that's going to cap the available money that someone has to spend on a house, which is the design of increasing the interest rates, is to slow that appreciation down. The problem is, given there's such a low supply, you're going to find a buyer for it. You're not going to get huge, over asking, but you're going to find a buyer for it. If you're buying, you got to find someone who priced it like it's 2022, like someone who priced it like it's 2020. Find someone out there that you can get concessions from. And those people exist. They're not my clients, but they do exist. My buyers take advantage of those people's situation by offering them what it's worth today. Okay. Now, so that means home prices are predictably going to continue to rise at a lower, slower pace, but continue to rise, given there's 50% less inventory. Now, all of that makes sense. Less inventory makes sense in the context of who's going to move out of their 2.5% mortgage into a 7% mortgage unless they have to. So there's no more move up buyers, no one else taking advantage of the low interest rates. You're only moving now if you have to. But there you go. That's what's happening in King County real estate, is that there is a huge demand for inventory over any other year in history. Just let's get those houses out there. Okay. It also means that people like me, your realtor buddies, have to hustle because there's 50% less business to be had. That's the reality. So let me know if I can help you. Let me know if you know someone I can help. Let me know if you know anyone anywhere in the country that I can help. Seriously, I got a huge network of people I can help you all over the country. Anyway, that's what's happening in King County real estate. If you got questions about your situation, that's what I'm here for. My name's Aaron Hendon with Christine & Company over at eXp Realty, and I will talk to you later. Party on, Wayne. Hey, what in the world is happening with Pierce County real estate? I think if you looked at this chart, you could tell me what in the world is happening with King County or with Pierce County real estate, because it's right there. Let me show you what you're looking at. The green, that's the supply, the number of new listings that came to market any given month in the last 10 years. Blue is the demand, the number of homes that went under contract over the same time frame. What do you see? Look at us all the way over here on the corner here in 2023. There's never been a time where there's this little inventory in August. That's crazy. It's half of what it was last year. It's half of what it normally is. Even, this is the buildup after the collapse. It was more inventory than it is right now. There's nothing to buy. And demand, demand is down. It's not down ridiculous. It's not down now, the thing is that 7.5% interest is doing its job. It's capping demand and it's slowing price appreciation. But this lack of inventory, which is caused by the high interest rates, is driving prices up. Supply and demand will not be defeated, no matter what. Until the inventory turns around, prices are going to continue to rise. Maybe slowly, but they have to, because until there's supply and demand works every time. You can't help it. And why those high interest rates are keeping the inventory down is because everybody refinanced at 2.5%, and nobody wants to go from a 2.5% to a 7% interest loan. Why would they? Why would anybody do that? So what that means is if you are selling a house and you're selling it today, you got to price it like it's today, meaning buyers can't pay what they were paying. They can't go way over asking. Your appreciation has slowed down from double digits to single digits. If you've owned the house for 4 years and you refied, you're used to double digit gains in appreciation. That's not happening now. 3%, 4%, 5%. That's where you're going to be for a little bit. Okay. So you got to price it like it's today. Okay. If you're buying, you got to find someone who's pricing it like it's 2020. There are plenty of those people out there that don't listen to me, that don't listen to their realtor, that price it like, I was getting this last year. That's nice. It was getting that last year. Did you sell it last year? No. So you can't get that now. You got to price it like it's today. So those people that price it like it's 2020, you can actually negotiate and probably buy down your rate. Give them what they want, but have them give you back cash at closing and buy down your rate. It winds up being way cheaper for you. All sorts of things you can do as a buyer. So if you've got questions about your situation and you're looking in Pierce County, you should give me a call. I'm Aaron Hendon with Christine Company over at eXp Realty, and I'm here to help. Talk to you soon. Bye. What in the world is happening with Kitsap County real estate? Well, I'll tell you the truth. It's the same damn thing that's happening with King County real estate and Pierce County real estate. And that is this. You are looking at the supply and demand graph for Kitsap County. The green is the supply. Green is the number of new listings that came to market. Supply, new listings. Blue, demand, number that went under contract. People said, I'll buy that. Look at that chart and you tell me what's happening. The green, where'd the green go? Green, up around 500-600 homes every month, every year we get up to 600. Nope, not this year. The pandemic 2020, we got over 500. Nope, not even to 500. This is a huge, precipitous drop in inventory. Now, the inventory, it makes sense because who's financing out of a 2.5% mortgage where every homeowner refied into over the pandemic? Who's doing that to get into a 7% interest rate? Only people that have to. So there's no more move up buyers right now. Okay. And there won't be for certainly till the end of the year. I mean, I can't see this shifting till the end of the year, till beginning of next year, which means, and look, demand is down a little bit too. I mean, I'm not saying demand's not down, but demand's down relative only because of supply being down. In other words, the demand is not down. The relationship between supply and demand is the same as it has been, which is in the recent past, which has been a seller's market. It's still a seller's market. There's just not enough sellers. So what that means to you is if you're selling, you need to price it like it's 2023. What does that mean? Well, the 7.5% interest rates are doing their job to a large extent in capping how high a home can sell for. People just don't have an unlimited resource of capital. So 7.5% makes the monthly interest payment way high, obviously 3 times higher, 4 times higher than it had been, which means you can't get as much as you used to be able to get. Okay. However, given there's half the amount of inventory and there's still a healthy amount of demand, you can get more than you got last year. You're just not going to get double digits more. You're going to get more than you did last year. It's not that prices are falling year over year. It's the rate of appreciation is falling year over year. Okay. So that's in general terms. Now your house may be in a neighborhood, may be in a condition, may be in a specific space where it is going to get less than it would last year, but generally that's not the case. So if you're selling, price it like it's 2023. And if you're buying, go find someone who priced it like it's 2020. Okay. We do that all the time. We get concessions out of those sellers. We buy down the interest rate for our clients, for the buyers, and we take advantage of every situation we can. So if you're selling, be present to that there's a cap on what people can spend, and you got to be careful because people are nervous about that. If you're buying, go find someone who wasn't that way. Okay, I can help you on either side of that equation. If you're in Kitsap County, I'd love to help you with that. My name's Aaron Hendon with Christine and Company over at eXp Realty, and I will talk to you later. Party on, Wayne. What in the world is happening with Snohomish County real estate? Whoa! I bet you can tell me. What you're looking at is the supply and demand graph for Snohomish County the last 10 years. Okay, the green is the supply, the number of homes that came to market. The number of new listings every month for the last 10 years. Then the blue is the demand, the number that went under contract that month. Okay, last 10 years. What do you see? What happened in 2023? That's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous drop in inventory. That's insanity. All right. And nowhere in the last 10 years have we been this low. That's madness. Okay. Now, the demand is down too. True demand's down, but it's not the gap. The delta between supply and demand is no different than it has been. It's a little bit, it depends what month you pick, but in general. So what does this mean? It means, first of all, if you're selling a house in Snohomish County and you price it like it's 2023, I'll tell you what that means in a minute. You'll get it sold. Why? Because nobody else is doing it. Okay. What do I mean by pricing it like it's in 2023? Well, the 7.5% interest rates are doing their job in capping appreciating. Interest rates were 3%. People could spend way over asking and still afford the monthly payment. 7.5%, they cannot do that. However, what you do need to know is given there's so much less inventory, so much less supply, so many less houses, because there's a 7.5% interest rate and people don't want to go from a 2.5% loan to a 7.5% loan wisely. So they're not selling their homes. Maybe they're even renting them out because the 2.5% is so cheap right now, right? Cheap money that they're not selling their homes, that you can in fact sell your home quickly because there's so little inventory available. Okay. The demand is still there. That's the point. Now, if you're buying a house, you don't have as many houses to choose from. So don't be such a picky person because you're not going to find that perfect house just because there's very little to buy. And you want to find someone who priced it like it's 2020. And you can. There's plenty of people who think, oh, yeah, you used to get this. Yeah, that's right. You used to get that. But they don't listen to me and they don't listen to their realtor and they just go ahead and price it like it's last year. Well, you can't. And get it. You're not going to get it. You can do whatever you want, but you're not going to get that money. So if they really do need to sell, which is mostly who's selling now, because you're not having any of the casual move up buyers, people that are selling are serious about selling in general, that you can get concessions from them. You can find, they give them their price, but have your lender buy down your rate. So now you're not paying 7.5%, you're paying 6.5%. That kind of difference. Right? You'll pay less for the house than you would have monthly, than you would have had to give you a price cut. So if you have questions about how that works, or you want to know more about that, about your situation in Snohomish County, that's what I'm here for. My name's Aaron Hendon. I'm with Christine and Company at eXp Realty. Give me a call. Party on, Wayne. Hey, what in the world is happening with Vashon Real Estate? Check it out. This is wild. Keeping Vashon weird here. So it's only weird relative to every place else that I do these reports for. So you should watch those videos because the surrounding counties are all the same. But Vashon is weird. All right. What's weird about it? Well, you're looking at the supply and demand graph for the last 3 years. Supply, meaning the green, meaning the number of new listings that came to market. Demand, meaning the blue, meaning the number of homes that went under contract. Okay, the number of homes sold, supply, demand. Couple things about this, pretty interesting. So the last 3 years, this is this August, last August, the August before that. Pretty much the same. Not a radical difference in inventory. Now, if you look historically, if we go back over time, you can see that it's about half historically, but it's been that way since the pandemic. So if we go back a ways, you can see it is definitely down off what historical trends are, but not the recent trends, not the pandemic trends. Every place else around us, it has been half the inventory of last year. That's not the case here. The other thing that's unique about Vashon, or in this case, I'm going to just keep calling it weird because why would you not call Vashon weird? And that is this. Let's just zoom in a little bit here. Okay, this is the last 2 years. Look at the demand. Where did the demand go? So that's August. 7 homes went off the market. There were 17 last year. Okay, that's almost half, a 50% drop in homes purchased. That's intense. That's August of the previous year, 13. So 25% less homes bought. Now, September generally has been the last couple of years, brought an increase, brought big drop last year between August and September. We'll see what this September brings, but demand has been dropping on Vashon the last 3 months. And that's a fascinating phenomenon. There's more available listings on the island now than there have been. If we look at, let's look at not new listings, active listing, and take off the secondary for a second. Look at that. And let's go back a couple of years. That's a huge peak. That's a huge spike back up in available listings relative. Like you can see, we were at the bottom here in January 22. There were 2 houses available. All right. We're back up to pre-pandemic levels, really, in terms of number of listings available on the island. And that's a function of no buyers, a lack of demand. That's not a function of too many sellers. Okay. The sellers are about the same as last year. Demand has gone down over the last 3 months. Now, how long is that going to continue? I don't know. But you do need to be responsible. If you're selling a house on Vashon now, you got to watch because that's 3 months in a row of decrease in demand. That's not a small, I mean, it's obviously it's a small sample size, just given it's just 3 months, number of listings pending. Okay. It's too long of a time frame. Look at this. Let's just go back 3 years. Let's show what we see. Yeah. So you can see that's down August. The 7 homes, that's down. Okay. That means right here, this is the last 3 months part that I was talking about. Step down, right? That's the last 3 months of decrease in demand. Now, could it pop up in September? It really could. Has September popped up in the past? It really has. It could. It's very small data sets are very difficult to read trends into because there's not enough history. There's not enough data insufficiency is a big deal, but it's certainly enough to put a concern in your mind if you're selling a house. And if you're buying a house on Vashon now, you've got as good of an opportunity to buy on Vashon today as you've had in the last 5 years. Really, you have a better opportunity to find what you're looking for than you've had any time in the last 4 or 5 years. There you go. Now, if you got questions about that, or if you're looking on Vashon, or if you're looking to sell on Vashon, we should talk because all this information needs to go into your specific situation. Every home is different. Every buying situation is different. Everyone's unique. These are general trends. We should talk about your specific situation and talk about how to get you what you want. If you got questions about that, give me a call. My name's Aaron Hendon. I'm with Christine Company over at eXp Realty. Talk to you soon. Party on, Wayne.